Happy Sunday and welcome to Sunday Solutions with Body and Mind Solutions. Our guest for today is a very dear friend that I've known for quite some time, who is also one of the best, hands down, professional mobile freelance nail artists in the Los Angeles area. And I am so happy to have Raven Bilberry on with us. So, Raven, please introduce yourself.
Hey y'all, my name is Raven. I am a licensed nail artist here. I service the Southern California, Los Angeles area. I do travel to Orange County occasionally. Um, I have been doing nails. I've been licensed in the state of California since 2012, so 13 years.
Oh, wow.
And I love what I do. I love what I do. I always feel like it's a gift and it's a blessing. I always say I feel very blessed to be able to be a blessing to others.
Nice. I love that. And I can say just you have worked on me at this very moment. I don't have any type of nails going on. My nails, I've been chewing on them. I need to work on that. My daughter's nails, I believe you've done my mother as well, right?
Mhm.
And one thing I can say is you are very gentle when dealing with our elders. And that was one thing that I was most pleased with for my mother because she's
Mhm.
very particular. And so my first question, and then we'll get back to just the journey, the how. Um, my first question would be, do you have more clients that are elders or pretty much a wide range when it comes to your, I don't want to say your favorite, if you will,
My
but where
regular
you, yeah, your regulars.
I would say it's kind of all over the spectrum as far as age wise, because I've got some clients that are in their 30s. I wouldn't say I don't have any like younger people, but everybody's like 30 and up. I only have a couple of seniors right now. Because a lot of my over the years, me doing this, like a lot of my seniors are older, like in their 80s. I have one lady, actually two. The two regular seniors that I have right now are actually both in their 90s. One just turned
Oh,
90,
beautiful.
right? One of the ladies just turned 90 in August, and the other one, I want to say she's 94. Um, and one of my seniors just passed actually a couple months ago,
Sorry to
and
hear that.
yeah, um, she was just a month and a half shy of her 80th birthday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's beautiful. And I know I asked that question too, partly because you don't do acrylics, if I remember correctly. You
I
pretty
do
much
not.
right. And I know a lot of the younger people today, that's probably something that they are more into. And so
Mhm.
it was another unique thing that I always admired with you and your work because you keep it natural, you keep it clean. I always knew as far as the hygiene aspect, when you showed up, it was gonna always be on point. So I
Right.
always value that in what you do. So let's start with your journey. Just how did you get started, on this path of doing nails?
Woo. So I first started, I think the spark was probably lit in me when I was a little girl growing up in Texas. My mom had me and my two younger siblings at home at the time, and she had gone to cosmetology school in LA before we moved to Texas and got her license. And she used to do like her friends and our neighbors would come over during the day and she would do their nails and they would sit around and talk and laugh and drink their coffee and all those things back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of where my love of nails and
Mm-hmm.
um nail care started. I want to say when I was probably about 10 or 11 years old, like I started doing my own pedicures and polishing my own nails. And once I got in high school, it was crazy after that. Like I started going, once my dad was like, I'll give you money. You can go to the nail shop, go get your nails done.
Mhm.
It was a wrap after that. Every 2 weeks, I was in a nail shop. I always had a French tip. And it was just, that was my thing. I remember even like up until I was like my mid 30s, I would never do color on my nails. Never color, never designs. My going crazy would be like a glitter French tip as opposed to the, or instead of like the half moon shape, I would do like a V or something, but it was always a French tip.
That was always me go-to. I love the French tip.
Because it was always clean and professional. And it matched everything. So that's where the spark was lit as a little girl. I was working for a day spa company here in LA. I'll give them a shout out because I love them still to this day.
Please.
I was working for Burke Williams. I was a manager and in their guest services department. And I had been with the company about 7 years and had just got to the point where I was kind of feeling the itch to work for myself, to have more freedom. And I started, I actually went on a trip in 2011. Me and my dad went to Texas for like for a class reunion or something. My older brother was living in the Austin area at the time. And I remember the first day we got there, I was standing outside his bar talking. My brother had a bar and restaurant in a little town called Hutto, which is a suburb of Austin. And we're standing outside talking, and these two ladies walk up and placed an order, said hi, and placed an order with him. And I said, well, who is that? And he was like, oh, that's Regina and Mama Regina. They own the salon on the corner. He said, it's really nice. He said, you should go check it out. He said, it's actually almost too nice for this community. And I said, really? Right. I was laughing. I said, really? He said, yeah. He said, it's really, really nice. He said, you should go get your nails done or something. So this is when like gel manicures were kind of first becoming popular. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. So I ended up going, went and got my nails done. And when I walked in, it was like something came over me. So the salon was really nice, very modern. As soon as I walked in the door, they offered me a drink and they were like, you can have a cocktail. We have margaritas. If you want a cup of coffee or tea or iced tea. And I was like, oh, this is nice. And it was a full service salon. So they did everything, anything, everything beauty. They had a massage room. They had,
that was my next question. What about the massages?
So turns out she took me on a tour. And she was telling me that the room that they use for their massages, it was kind of closed off in like a vault. And apparently that location that they were in was the first like bank that had been in that community.
Really?
And they had converted into a salon. And so
it still had that door, like the vault door.
That big heavy door.
Yes. Oh, wow.
So the vault was their massage room.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It was so cool.
No, I wish I'm like I'm actually imagining what that even looks like. That's dope.
It was hella dope.
Yeah.
But I got my nails done, and it was funny because got my nails done, had a conversation with the girl that was doing my nails, kind of was talking to one of the owners too at the same time, and left from there so happy. Went shopping with my brother's girlfriend. My nails, literally, as we were shopping, like my gel started kind of peeling. And just, it was not, it wasn't doing what it was supposed to be doing. It was coming off.
Yeah.
And I hadn't done anything. So next day I go back, I talked to the owner, told her showed her my nails. And I said, I literally did not do anything crazy. When I left, nails got jacked up. Can you fix them? She's like, yeah, come back later. I'll fix them for you. So when I went back the next day, it was just me and her there. She told me come back after they closed because she was really busy that day and I'm on vacation. So
nice.
Yeah. So we sat and we were chatting and she was asking me, she said, well, what do you do back home? And I told her I'm a manager in a day spa. And I said, it's weird. I said, when I came in here yesterday, I said, something came over me. And I said, it was almost like I had an epiphany. And she
Mm.
said, what was that? And I said, I said, when I get home, I'm gonna look into nail schools, beauty school. And I said, I think I want to do nails. She said, really? And I said, yeah. I said, I've always been into it. And I said, I've been feeling like this push inside of me or urge to do something different. And I said, I think this is like my sign. And she told me,
Mm.
she said, you should do it. And she said, if you're anything like your brother, she said, I'm sure you'll be wildly successful. And she kind of gave me a few tips. And she was just like, you might have to give away a lot of free manicures in the beginning and do a lot of volunteering. She said, but it'll just make you better and it'll be worth it in the end. So fast forward, that was June of 2011. My brother passed away suddenly, August of that year.
Sorry.
And I was heartbroken. But one of the things that helped me kind of be okay was knowing that when my brother left here, he was doing something that he was very passionate about. He had always worked in the restaurant industry and had always wanted to have his own, and he was doing that.
Mm.
And it kind of gave me like the thought that, just go for it. And I don't like to say I'm religious, but I'm more of a spiritual person, but I do believe in God. I do believe in a higher power. And I feel like when God places something in us, that it's up to us to take the steps to, make it come to fruition. And I don't think that anything happens by chance. So I went back to work after, we got everything settled with my brother. And I talked to my boss and I said, I think I want to go to nail school and get my manicurist license. I found a school and I said, but I'm gonna have to go to school in the mornings and I'm working here in the mornings. Can we adjust my schedule? Can I keep my pay until I'm done with school? And she said, yeah. She said, I think we can do that for you. And she was like, I'll do you one better. She said, if you commit to working here for a year in one of the spas, once you get licensed, she said, I'll pay for half of your school.
Oh, look at God.
But wait. I told her, I said, well, let me think about it. I said, let me go talk to accounting and find out how much you guys pay the nail techs at the spas. Because I didn't know.
Okay, I got you. Let me stop. Let me just listen. Yes.
Because this is business.
Yes.
So I went to accounting, and when I got the numbers, I was like, I think I can do better by myself. I told her like, thanks, but no thanks. And she was like, that's fine. That's your choice. And she said, but she was like, we'll work with your schedule. So you can do this.
Nice.
So I was able to do that. I found a school in Orange County and I was going to school Monday through Friday. Some Saturdays from like 8 to 2, from 8 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon. And then I would go to work in Culver City after, and I would be the closing manager. So then I would be at work until like 9 o'clock every night.
Put the work in, the time and the work that is required. That's a beautiful story.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I got started. I finished school in about 4.5 months, graduated, took my state boards, passed the first time, and got to it. 2 months after, May, June, July, 3 months after I got licensed, I got called into the office with the owner of the company and found out that they were moving my department to Henderson, Nevada. And if you want to move to Henderson, you still have a job. We would love to have you in your same capacity. But I didn't want to move to Vegas. So I told the owner, thanks, but no thanks again. I said, you guys have been really good to me. If there's anything I can help with the transition, I will do so. I said, I don't know if you're aware. I said, I just recently got my manicurist license. And I said, maybe this was God pushing me out the door, saying, fly.
Do your thing. Yeah.
Because I'm sure if that hadn't happened, I probably would have still, even though I had every intention in my mind to leave the company at the end of that year, I probably wouldn't have, because I liked my job. It wasn't hard. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the company culture, but God saw other things for me.
Absolutely. I love hearing that. Oh,
Yeah.
that was really good. My next question, and we touched on it a little bit, the
Mhm.
fact that you don't do the traditional, I guess, nail enhancements, as we would say, just
Mhm.
more natural. So what was the inspiration behind keeping it that way in your practice?
I obviously in nail school we're taught how to do acrylic. It was never really my thing. I never really liked the strong smell of, so the acrylic liquid is called monomer. Um, the powder is called a polymer. So the smell of monomer was just too much for me. They have odorless ones, but the odorless ones don't set as fast, are a little harder to work with. I just didn't want to be bothered with all of that.
Yeah.
When I was in nail school, I learned that there were other options such as hard gel. They had this thing called powder gel, which now powder gel, I think, was probably what dip is today. So it's like a super fine acrylic, and powder gel is a similar process, but it
Mhm.
was a form of enhancement. And then just the regular gel polish, like gel polish will puts kind of a, I like to call it like an extra coat of armor on top of
Mhm.
your natural nails. Um, yeah, I just fell in love with gel. It was so much easier, no odor, no smell. Um, yeah, just the ease of it. And I have horrible allergies. I've always had allergies. Obviously, over the years, with nail polish, they've gotten worse. But I don't really have that many clients that use regular traditional lacquer anymore. So
Wow, it has definitely changed over the years for sure. Because I've seen more for me of the, I don't really polish my nails anyway, but I
mhm.
have seen too where you have a lot more vegan friendly type of a polishes. I
Mhm.
haven't seen any, but I see a lot of them out here and there in different publications that I receive, vegan news magazines that kind of
Mhm.
highlight products as well. So yeah, I've seen that. Do you work with any vegan nail polishes at all, or?
So I haven't mentioned this yet, but in 2015, I started working with OPI, which is they're like the number one salon brand of nail care products in the world. And OPI has a line of vegan polishes.
Oh, no.
Um, so I do use those occasionally, not
Mhm.
often. At one point I had a client that was undergoing cancer treatment, so she couldn't really wear polish on her nails, and everything had to be super clean. So like
Got
when
it.
I would do her pedicures, I would do everything unscented, which I'm big on like scents and aromatherapy and all those things. But since she couldn't have it, I made sure that I used OPI's vegan line for her, which initially she thought she couldn't have color because
Hmm.
it was of all the chemicals. And so it's cool knowing that they had a clean formula out there that she
Nice.
could still, even though she was undergoing her treatments or something, it always makes you feel better to have your nails done and polished and be like look together. It does something to your spirit. So
Yeah.
it's always cool that I was able to accommodate her in that
Yeah, I
way.
think that was one thing, like I said in the beginning, very accommodating, especially for me, like I said, the elders, of course, my daughter, I loved my services as well, but I think just your know-how to make it work for whom every client, I should say, is a different individual. You
Right.
don't come with the one size fit all attitude. The cookie cutter style is pretty much the need of each individual client. So I've always respected that. What tips do you have? So when we talk about nail health, the health of our nails,
Mhm.
um, are there any things that we could do at home to just kind of like maintain in between appointments, or just what are some do's and don'ts when it comes to just our nails?
I like to push moisture.
Mhm.
Moisturize. The one thing that drives me absolutely crazy about my clients is that in between their services, they don't do what I tell them to do. Some of them do, but most of the time they don't.
Mhm.
Um, But I tell them, like, before you go to bed at night, put some oil on your cuticles and rub it in. And a natural oil, something like olive oil or coconut oil, avocado oil, like things that we all have at home for the most part. Those are great. They'll keep you moisturized, especially if you do it before bed. It gives it time to kind of absorb into the skin a little bit because you're not up and down washing your hands like you are throughout the day. Yeah, more than moisture is great. For the feet, because I do pedicures. Especially here in Southern California, we're like a sandals culture.
Absolutely.
Everybody's because we don't typically have weather here, even though it's storming right now. But
it never rains in Southern California, but it's been raining out here.
It is raining a lot. Mm-hmm. So I always tell people, everybody's in like slides and sandals and flip-flops, and Crocs are super popular right now. So your heels tend to get really dry unless you're very diligent about moisturization. So I always talk to my clients about doing like a dry exfoliation of the heels of the bottoms of your feet. You can use like a coarse file or a coarse nail file, or there's foot files that you can order online that are great, and do a dry exfoliation. It's kind of gross, looks like snow. If your feet are dry, it's gonna look like snow coming off.
I know from experience. I know what you're talking about. 100%.
But I found over the years, like doing nails, doing pedicures, I found that when you do it dry as opposed to doing it wet in the shower, because back in the day they used to always tell us keep a pumice stone in the shower, do it while you're showering. I found that once the skin is wet and you try to do that exfoliation, the skin is going to continue to peel and tear. Whereas if you do it when it's dry, all that dead skin is just going to come off. Mm-hmm. Once all that dead skin comes off, then you just wipe your feet down, put a moisturizer, and your feet are going to be smooth and brand new like baby skin again.
Yeah, I love the way that sounds. And now I'm encouraged to, maybe I'll do that tonight. And
I'll send you a link for a foot file when we get off.
Yeah. And also to put my oil, because I got some oil, put some oil on my cuticles. I don't do much. I be low maintenance when it comes to just like those things. And that's why I asked that question, just some things that, the audience can get a feel to start incorporating in their time in between getting their services. So
and sidebar, you're talking about some oils. Your products are so amazing.
Let's talk about it.
They smell good. I'm very big on scents. Yeah. I've never been I'm not big on I don't wear a lot of perfumes and stuff out because they kind of irritate my skin. But I do love, I'm a girl, I love to smell good. So it's I'm more into oils and natural stuff. I have over the years, I've used your lavender hand and foot cream for my pedicures. Clients love it. You gave me I have a little silver tin in one of my purses. I think it's your massage balm, you told me, but it's a balm for sure. And I use that for
either flow butter or flow sauce.
It's probably you said slow butter.
Flow butter? Flow butter or flow sauce that I made.
It's probably flow butter.
I think it's.
But I use that on my cuticles and on my heels and on my elbows, and oh my gosh, it's amazing. Shout out to BAMS Therapeutic.
Well, thank you. And I'm gonna send you some things as well. I'm hoping to plan a trip next month. Waiting to see, but for sure, if not, I can just put something in the mail because I've been working on some new aromas that go well with our. Have you ever tried the foot soak?
I think for myself.
Yourself? Okay.
And I might have used it a couple times for clients. It has herbs and stuff in it, right?
Yes, it has your salts mixed in. It has fresh rose petals in it, a little bit of rosemary, lavender, like the fresh herbal blend. Lavender, of course, I love lavender. Is just my go-to.
I
when it
love
comes to
lavender.
relaxation. So yeah, but I was thinking some things. So thank you for that acknowledgement. I appreciate it. So let's see. You gave us some tips. Did you have any more tips at home?
Just moisturize your cuticles daily is very important. And when your nails are naked, like if you don't, like right now, you don't have anything on your nails, massage that oil into your nail beds. It'll help strengthen them. If you're trying to get your nails to be stronger and grow, use a nail strengthener every few days and keep something on them. But if even if you're not somebody who wants to deal with the polish, keep them moisturized. Like it doesn't hurt your nails to massage oil into them daily. All it's gonna do is help them be stronger.
Nice. And what can you speak to us in regards to, we're using the word massage, where you're rubbing in, you're suggesting that we oil. And so when you're doing your service, is that something that you focus on as well as part of your service when you like a before and because I'm looking at your expression. Do you do any additional massages up the calf or just the feet,
Oh yeah. So I have a couple clients that when it's time for me to when I'm finished with their nails, I've always put cuticle oil at the end to restore the moisture that I've taken away with, the acetone and alcohol. And I have a couple girls when it's time for the hand massage, they're like
ready.
That's my favorite part. That's what everybody says. And I massage literally from like their hand up the arm to the elbow. I'm massaging. And with the feet, when I'm doing pedicures, I massage the foot all the way up to the calf if I can get to it, depending on, what kind of pants or whatever they have on. But it's always the goal to massage up to the knee. I don't do an extra long massage because I am not a massage therapist.
Yeah.
But I do give a good rub down, like good strong massage. Cause I feel like when you go, you've been to a nail salon before. It's literally like I tell people I give a massage, and a lot of times what you get at the salon is a lotion application. They are like,
yeah, it's super rushed.
And
rushed. And then again, like we were talking about the products, for me, it's like what goes, of course we know what goes on the body goes in the body. And so I'm just already very particular about what you're rubbing in. But the fact that, like you're saying, that rush part, it just takes away from, you can't enjoy it. You've been sitting here, I've been, pampering myself and just relaxing, getting my nails done. And then that you're waiting, like you're just waiting. And then it's just like 2 seconds, it's a wrap. I'm done with no care, no love. So I get that.
And I think that's important. I think especially with my services, so because I go to people in their home, the way that my business is set up, it is for self-care. It is a luxury service that I offer. And I'm not expensive as far as what some mobile nail techs charge, but it's not cheap. It's not what you're going to pay at the nail shop. And I know, I'm very well aware of that. And I know what I like. So I always try to make sure that I provide like a very pampering, a very relaxing experience for my clients. And I try to kind of read the room. Like if they don't want to talk, we don't have to talk. I'll put in my AirPods. I'll listen to music. I will do my thing and be just fine. Like I always tell, they're like, I'm sorry, I don't want to talk. And I'm like, that's fine. I'm not here for you to entertain me. It is all, I'm super easy and flexible. So it's like, it's all good. That's fine. I don't mind. Cause I don't have to talk to be okay. So,
but I love that because
I love it to my service.
Yeah, but that's awesome because you have to be in tune and aware, like you said, read the room. As a massage therapist, same thing. You do have clients who want to talk during a massage. I personally, I don't speak. If I'm going to receive a massage, I'm going to be just sleep, snoring, relax, all into it. But I can't take what I like into it, right? So the standard, the level of professionalism for sure. But some people like to talk. And so then I have to be mindful when I'm going into a session and I'm servicing, I'm doing a massage, that if they want to talk, oh, we're gonna talk. We gonna talk as much as you want to. And the minute you stop, that's cool too. So yeah, we have to be, like we said in the beginning, everybody is their own individual. And it's up to us to be able to identify what it is that they want from us, because they paying for these services.
Right. And I gotta say, I've done celebrities over the years, and I tell clients, like, to me, celebrity doesn't impress me. And as far as I'm concerned, everybody that I touch is a celebrity, and I treat everybody with the same amount of care and respect. Like, a name doesn't impress me.
I love that.
I treat everybody special. And everybody deserves to feel special.
Let me ask you this. And if it's not the right place, cool. Just we go on to something else. But I know what happens in this industry, right? So you mentioned the celebrities, so your high profile VIP clients. One thing that I have found, that I've had conversations with other professionals. You have some massage therapists who charge or will upcharge and change their rates because of who it is, because of the client, right? So let's just say, for example, if I'm $275 an hour, that price is the same no matter who it is, because that's my price. If it's $500 an hour, it's not going to go up to $1,000 an hour because it's so and so who plays for, or this athlete
who's a multimillionaire.
Yeah, the price is my price is my price, right? So I'm just wondering, is that something that in your industry, does that price change based on 9-to-5 employee? Hey, I'm just go to work. I work over here up the street. Oh, and I'm a multimillionaire who owns. Does that change at all?
So I will say my price is my price, just because to me, number one, that gets confusing trying to remember what the price is if I'm upcharging based on who you are and what I think what I think you can afford, which is to me, is kind of crazy. And I do love that being my own boss, I can also adjust prices as I feel fit. So I was just talking to one of my sister-in-laws about this recently. Like, right now, the economy is crazy. And a lot of people just can't afford to do everything that they want to do how they've been doing it. And I get that. So it's like I'll make adjustments for my clients depending on, because they do talk to me because of the nature of my business. It is more of an intimate setting, because they allow me into their homes, so they allow me into their safe space. And they also tend to open up to me. So it's like, if for some reason, like, their money is a little different, I can make adjustments, because this is my business, right? And I think I love and appreciate that they feel comfortable enough with me to be able to tell me, like, hey, this is going on. I still want to get my nails done, but I can't tip you, this month or this time, and it's like, that's fine. I get it. So yeah, I don't upcharge or extra charge just because somebody is a celebrity.
Got you. Okay. Well, thanks for clarifying that. And
some people do.
I was just wondering, because I've learned that it is a common practice in this industry. Again, nothing that I do, but I was just curious. So let's see. Let's see. Wellness, right? You gave us the tips, moisturizing. We talked about, even there's so many benefits. Yes.
I just thought about that with the tips. I know on the questions that you sent me, there's so many things that go along with, like, nail care. And nails are an organ, like your skin, like your hair. I have one particular client actually just recently. She's like in her mid-60s. And she was like, I feel like my nails have been growing so fast. And I said, well, have you changed anything in your diet? have you been taking more vitamins? And she said, yeah, I started. She's like, I'm juicing a lot right now. She said, I'm drinking more water. I am taking more vitamins and supplements. And I said, well, there it is. I said, a lot of people don't realize it, but your nail care, excuse me, the
Mhm.
nail care, it starts from within. And if your body is healthy, like I typically people that are like vegan, they eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, they drink a lot of water, take a lot of supplements, like people that are really body focused and conscious of what they're feeding their body, their nails tend to be kind of stronger and healthier and grow faster, as opposed to somebody who is on like a fast food diet,
Yeah.
who eats a lot of processed foods, people who smoke cigarettes. I might never see you smoke a cigarette, but when I cut your nails, I can
You know.
smell it.
That's deep.
Um, and even like, you know, I lost my dad to cancer, both of my parents now. But when my dad was towards the end, I was spending time with him in Texas. And I remember he asked me to cut his toenails one day. And my dad was a nurse and ex-military, former military. He was a vet, was a very meticulous, very clean man, and always kept his nails cut very short, like super short. Did not play about that. So when I went to go see him, he was like, can you cut my toenails for me? He was like, I can't do it. And I was like, yeah. And he didn't trust his wife to do it without hurting him. So I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, Dad, I got you. And I remember very distinctly when I cut his toenails, I could smell the chemicals, the cancer. Like I could smell probably the cancer, and he was undergoing like chemo and like
Mhm.
radiation treatments and stuff. But it's like it had a very distinct, very chemically, like a chemical odor that came, that was it was in his body.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it's like it made me think about how they say like dogs can like smell cancer.
Yeah.
And I was like, in that moment, I was like, I get it. And even like later on, my dad passed in 2015 and we lost my mom in 2023. When my mom was towards the end, like I could smell that same kind of, it was a very, I guess I would say like a chemical.
Yeah, that's you describing it. I know exactly what you wow. Things that we don't, unless you have that the knowledge that you have and
Mhm,
in your profession, and you come across that, I would never know. And
mhm,
you especially saying the cigarette smell embedded, just
mhm,
wow, things that we wouldn't even think about when we think just going to the salon or just getting our nails done, that it's just this surface level
mhm.
um profession and experience. And you just opened me up and explained some things that would have never crossed my mind.
And I think it's too because um I'm a very sensitive person, and I think I try to um I'm very empathic, and I try
Mhm.
to be in tune with people. And it's just, I think over the years, you know, when doing what we do, there's always, because we touch people, right? There's
Mhm.
always an exchange of energy.
Yep.
And because of that, I'm very, number one, that's why, like, with scheduling my clients, like, for the most part, I only take on new people by referral. Most of my clients have been with me for
Same.
many years.
Mhm.
Um, and so only by referral or recommendation from somebody who I've already serviced, or every once in a while, I'll take on somebody from my Yelp page. But with them, it's usually I have like a whole list of questions I ask them before I'll even commit to going. Because I'm walking into somebody's personal space,
Yeah.
or and I'm gonna be touching them, and I don't want, my energy is not for everybody.
Yes, I love that.
Energy is not for me, and I'm okay with that. Like, it's, of course I do this to make money, but it's
Yeah.
not just about the money.
And I'm happy again. So you're bringing up things because we do something different, but It's pretty much, it has a lot of similarities, right? The touching, the energy. You have to be able to say no,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to be okay with a client telling you it's not a good fit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you do a consultation, or if you find yourself the first time you meet, sometimes there is a, you just know, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like, and maybe your level of your expectation, or we can say rules, however you want to call it, when coming to see me. If you're coming to my place of business, or if I'm going to your home, I'm asking specific questions. Who else is in the house? Any pets in the house? And some people can find that just the questions are, you tripping, you know, or you're asking too many questions, so never mind. But I need to know, are there stairs in the home? Am I carrying my table up the stairs? So, and I'm okay with that, you
Yeah.
know. It's not so
They say, but with the old folks say, all money ain't good money.
all money ain't good money, and I'm 100% okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. I think we may have covered most of what we wanted to discuss, but let's talk about self-care with Raven. Like, we're talking about you. Now we're going into you, and what does that look like? You know, do you have a set schedule of certain practices or things that you find yourself doing consistently to maintain your mind, body, and soul, just your well-being? What does that look like for you?
I have a standing appointment with my therapist every week.
Nice.
That unless I absolutely have to, I do not move that appointment. One of my bonus aunties was telling me, she's a medical professional, and she was telling me, we were having a talk one day, having coffee one morning, and she's like, baby, I think you need to get into this. She was like, I think you need to go to therapy. And she said, you've experienced a lot of loss. And she said, it's time for you to start healing, and I want you to be okay. And I took that to heart.
Yeah.
And so I ended up finding a therapist, and found a Black woman, praise God. Because I've had others, and it's different.
Mm-hmm.
It's
No,
different.
I can believe that. Mm-hmm.
Talking to somebody who looks like you and who understands just culturally,
Yeah.
it's different. So I'm really super grateful for her. So I do that, and that's for me, because I'm trying to be, you know, the best version of me that I can be. And I want to be healed, and I want to be okay, because I'm also, you know, in addition to being a nail technician, I'm a mom, I am a wife, and I have boys. I have 3 boys, and I want them to see their mom like taking care of herself and
I love it.
being whole. What else? I like to read. I just recently got a library card again. Maybe
Oh,
about a month and a
cool.
half ago. My youngest son is 9, and there was like one day he was out of school during the week. And so me and my husband were both off that day also. And we went and had lunch. And then I said, you know what, let's go to the library. I said, because I want him to read more.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the pandemic kind of did a number on a lot of the kids. And there was like a loss of learning, because he was just starting school when the pandemic started. He was in preschool, 3 years old. We put him in like Head Start.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he didn't necessarily get the foundation that my other boys did because of the pandemic. He does great in school. He's super smart, but he doesn't love reading. But I want him to love reading. I used to love getting lost in a book when I was a little kid. And
Nice.
so now I'm trying to foster and find that love for reading again. I just actually went and picked up 2 new books yesterday at the library.
Nice.
So
I think I was gonna start doing a library too, because I buy books. I'm on Amazon just ordering books all the time. I'll do Audible. I have a lot of books on my phone that I will listen to. And I found just one day I said, when's the last I stopped reading? And in the last 3 to 4 years, I have read more books than a span of the previous 10. right?
Mhm.
Just pick up a book here and there. But in the last 4, I've been more intentional about reading. And I
Mhm.
said, I'm gonna start going to the library because you could sit in the library, read. Are they still free when you check them out?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going back to the library
And
for
I
sure.
also found out too that like at least here in LA, if I think we have like the LA, we got cards at the LA County Public Library. So one of the cool things is that you can return those books at any of the libraries in their system. You don't have to necessarily go back to the same one that you checked them out from. And there's just so many perks that come along with having that library card. I think you get free admission to all the county museums
Oh,
on certain days of the month. You can get all kind of discounts on stuff. There's a lot of stuff that comes with that library card.
oh, I need to look into that.
A lot of
Okay,
benefits.
so you're reading more. You're going to therapy.
Um, Treating myself just in little ways, like I'll go have lunch by myself. Um, I like being by myself. I'm realizing like at this big age, as much as I love my girlfriends and I appreciate having like great relationships with the women in my life, um, sometimes we need to be okay with being by ourselves too. And I'm all right with that. Like I went and had lunch the other day alone and it was cool. So yeah, just trying to I feel like I'm at this juncture in my life, I'm trying to relearn myself. With me being in therapy, I also just recently was diagnosed with ADHD, um,
Okay, I
which
didn't know.
is kind of it's like been like an awakening for me because it's been very validating knowing that like I've always known that I was a little different in a
Mm-hmm.
lot of ways, but didn't know why or how. And now it makes me feel very validated and like I feel like I'm relearning myself again. And it also makes a lot of things that the way that I process things, like now it all makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I'm not crazy or there's not something wrong with me. It's just that I'm wired a little different and that's why I move this way. Because I've always been pretty bright. Um, and I just know things and I'll just like spew off information and people
Mm-hmm.
will be like, how do you know that? And I'm like, I don't know. I
I
just
just
know.
know.
I just know. And like I love to learn and get information. And I think that's one of the things that I've always loved about doing nails and talking to my clients. I always feel like there's always some kind of exchange of information.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like either I'm teaching them something or they're teaching me something, but we're both always learning, which
Learning. Yes, yes. I love that. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. So let's see if you wanted to add anything further that we didn't touch on. You have the floor. You absolutely can. One thing I wanted to make sure is that first, people see um, that we have very professional nail freelance artists who look like us, who value and take pride in what it is that they're doing. And like you said, work with the best of them, work for the best companies. You have the background, you have the experience and knowledge. And so I just wanted to highlight nails, like you skin. This is one of our biggest or the biggest organ.
Mhm.
And just the beauty that comes with taking care of our hands and our feet.
Mhm.
I always remind clients like our feet take us everywhere we have to go, literal, like a
They
literal.
carry us through life.
They carry us through life.
Mhm.
So just a quick, reminder, and to have this conversation just so that men and women alike, I mean, no, regardless of your age, just
Oh yeah.
taking care of your precious hands, your nails, your feet, for better quality of life.
Yeah,
Period.
it's important. And just for young people, I was blessed, excited. My god brother has a 14-year-old son, and went and gave him his first his first professional pedicure. And he was like, and I said, no, it's okay. I said, if anything, if at any point anything hurts, just let me know. And I said, but it shouldn't, because I'm generally, like I've always been told, I'm very gentle. So he was just like, when I was all finished, he was just like, wow. And I said, did you like it? Did you enjoy it? He was like, yeah. He's like, that was really nice. My feet feel really good. And I was like, yeah. And I said, I said, babe, it's just grooming. I said, there is nothing wrong with going to get pedicures. I said, and I always tell people too, this is super key. When you're getting your hands and nails done, it's not supposed to hurt. It's not supposed to be painful. Sometimes, people get like ingrown toenails and stuff. That's a whole nother monster. Their nails grow differently, cut into the skin. That's kind of like a you thing. But as far as like getting your cuticles all cut up and then being extra rough with you, like it's not supposed to be that way. Getting your nails done should be relaxing. It should be a relaxing experience. It is grooming, but it should be relaxing if you're paying somebody to do these things for you.
And I'm glad you pointed out those ingrowns. I don't know what it is. It'd be so painful, but when it's time to actually have it, it feels so good. Like it's such an instant relief once it's being properly, and it has to be properly removed.
And I've just found over the years, a lot of people, it's not even necessarily that people have ingrown toenails. I feel like depending on what kind of shoes you wear more often than not, and just with age, our nails starts to kind of grow, our toenails starts to kind of cut into the skin as they're growing out. They kind of start to curve, and that's what causes the pain. And so sometimes it's not even necessarily an ingrown, it's just that the nail is growing in a fashion where it's cutting into the skin, and it's that pressure. It's not even necessarily cutting into the skin, but just the pressure of the nail touching the skin, it makes it tender.
Yeah, it could be very painful.
Mine have done that before, and it's like it'll wake you up out of your sleep.
Oh, for sure. Well, that was good. And the young man enjoyed his services, so now I'm sure he'll be getting scheduled appointments in the future. That's good. Well, I've enjoyed having you. This has been fun, especially because of the relationship and knowing you and being able to see your growth firsthand and just see all the changes over the years. So I am proud of you. I've learned some things that I did not know, and just knowing some of those things, I can say I see the determination of someone who has just you're not going to give up. You're not going to break. I ain't never known you to be that, at all. So, and your family woman, your husband and your boys, you do such an amazing job as a mother, and while juggling just life, the everyday things. So more success and prosperity and wealth to you and yours. And I'm so happy that you were able to join me on this beautiful day.
Thank you for having me. This is so cool.
And do me a favor. So your Instagram, and I'm also, it will be on the post. It'll be typed in, of course. But if you want to just include an email or anything else or ways to contact, if you're even taking new clients right now, I know you've been doing this for many years, and you have her clients. She have clients that have been with her for years. So I don't know if that's something that you're currently doing, but I'm just happy that you were able to give information today.
Well, I actually just recently started working at an elementary school part-time in the afternoons in an after-school program, because I'm very big about walking in your purpose. And I have been doing nails for a long time, and I'm very much like a person that will, once I get the spark in me, it's like, okay, I got to switch and do something else. I'll pivot fast. So something in me was like telling me it's time to do something, a little something different. It came to me that it needed to be that my purpose is to be of service. Like doing nails, of course, I'm offering a service. But the opportunity came to work in the school, and I applied and took all the tests and things, and I just finished up my second week. And
congratulations.
Thank you. It's been interesting. I never had a desire to work with children ever in life. I didn't even think I wanted to be a mom when I was younger. But now 25 years later, I really love my kids. They give my boys give me purpose
Yes.
to keep going every day. And I think working with the kids at the school, it's actually been really cool. Like some of them are so sweet. And it's like this is our future.
Yeah,
So it's
100%.
like if I can have a little bit of a hand in helping raise up the next generation, that's a blessing and that's a gift in itself.
All praises.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
my availability is limited, but I am always willing to take on new people. We can try
Well, give
them.
us your Instagram, or if you have an email, the best way to contact you or find you. You can go ahead and drop that.
My Insta is Nails by Raven. You can find there's other Nails by Ravens, but I'm Raven Bilberry. I think I'm usually the first one that comes up when people do their search. I'm on TikTok. TikTok is Mrs. B. I try to post nails. I'm not good at social media, even though I've had it for a very long time. I'm not the greatest at posting very regularly, but
Same.
you can always find me. I have a Facebook page. I'm searchable under Raven Bilberry. You can Google me and find me pretty much by my name. Yeah, and I'm on Yelp. Google, just look up Raven Bilberry, Nails by Raven, and you can find me.
She gonna come up because she be popping. I enjoy watching when you do post the hands. She posts her clients' hands so beautifully when she's done, and I always love and look forward to seeing them when I do so. But thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. If something comes up in the future, I will be reaching out, and send me the video that you're gonna send me. Yes, please, so I can post that and share it. And yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on.
Same. Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am.